Hello, welcome to the Daily Political Tarot Readings here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. I'm here 365 days of the year to take your 12 political questions. Just put your questions in the chat before I go on. So between 11 and 12, Chicago time, Central time in the US. And then during the live stream, please just anything in all caps is how you communicate with me. Other than that, please type normally. People have whole conversations. They're really supportive of each other. We have a great community because of you. Thank you. We have epic troll slayers too, who keep us safe. Thank you. All right. 10% of my income from everything Black and Orange goes to Feeding America at feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country. It's an ongoing thing. And I'm going to see how I'm doing here. I might have to sit down in a minute. I went to turn the light on back. I was like, oh, I forgot to turn the light on. And I turn around and I'm just mashed my toes into something. So I'm okay. But if they don't get better, I might have to pull up the chair and sit down. We'll see how it goes. I'll be fine. But these things happen. All right, let me get the cards out today. Speaking of which, I did some more work on my tarot deck last night. Oh, hang on a second. I was doing work on the graphics for the Devil and the Lovers, and I got the thingy. What's it? That, or I can do rounded corners. I've never had one of these before. It's very exciting. I know it takes a little to make me happy, but and I tried a green background, and I need to obviously make this bigger because I said make bigger. Rearrange some of this, but I replaced that with the heart, like I said I was going to, and yeah, so making progress. All right, so yeah, the green. This is just, oh, and I got thicker cardstock. It's not proper cardstock, but it's good enough for me to work on things and be able to create these little mock-ups, these little testers to see how things are working. So anyway, work continues. I'm just keeping you apprised in case anybody's curious. All right, but enough of that. Thank you. Thank you, Linda Sue, and thank you, Anna. Thank you. All right. Today, Dave, stub toes are painful, sending positive energy. Thank you. Unfortunately, I need it. Love them, says Sandy Miller. Tiffany Lily, yay. Judith, very nice. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Does Rat Sing anyone else feel a shift today? Oh yeah, there's definitely been shifting. There's definitely been change going on. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go grab 2 Advil from my poor toes. I'll be right back. I'm so sorry, and then I'll jump into the questions. Hurrying. Okay. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Get ourselves a treat. All right, now we're cooking with gas. All right. At 4 minutes. Oh, thank you, Lola Bell. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Thank you, guys. All right, 5 minutes in. Let's get the show on the road. Okay. We are starting with some possibilities. Possible Marjorie Trader Green justice. Her not continuing to get away with everything. Oh, yes, Rebecca Davis. What is the outcome for Marjorie Trader Green at court tomorrow? Oh, we've got the first 3 questions are about Marjorie Trader Green, and there were multiple people asking each of the questions. So let's do it. All right. So, well, actually, it's going to be like 6 minutes. All right. This has been going on. The people on Twitter have been going on about a lot of this. Is the reason that Marjorie Trader Green appealed the judge's decision to allow the case against her? I love some of these. I love some of these sentences. It's exactly the way my sentences go, and then I've got to go back and fix them. Is the reason, okay, the case, I'll read it straight through and then I have to rearrange it. Is the reason Marjorie Trader Green appealed the judge's decision to allow the case against her because she knows it will be held in a state court where the press will be allowed? Okay, since is Marjorie Trader Green appealing her? I understand the question. I'm just trying to figure out if there's an easier, a clearer way to say it. Is Marjorie Trader Green appealing her case going forward because she's afraid that in a state court the press will be allowed in and whatnot? Hang on. I need my planner back, because otherwise it gets really loud when I shuffle. Okay, there's a pen. There's that. We do a trivia question. Do a trivia question at the afternoon sprints every day. Random. I got a calendar, and with a random trivia question every day. Today's trivia question this afternoon is going to be: how much does a giraffe's heart weigh? You can ponder that. 3.5 ounces. No, 2.8 ounces. All right. Oh boy. Teresa Ford said, question needing to be 200 spaces or less makes writing them hard at times. Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Oh, that was not a dig at anybody. Mm-mm. There was no question. There was no person attached to that question. So, all right. 8:30. Marjorie Trader Green, are you afraid of wall-to-wall real-time press coverage of you in state court because they're trying to stop you from being able to run based on the 14th Amendment and discovery and all kinds of stuff? Knight of Cups. Oh, there are people who really, they have had enough of her. Enough. I mean, we don't like her, but there are some people who dislike her more than we do, believe it or not. All right, 10 of... all right, 10 of Wands, Hermit, Judgment. She is very afraid of judgment. 5 of Pentacles, 6 of Cups. It's a whole can of worms. It is a whole can of worms. All the stuff that she did, everything laid out step by step. I mean, the January 6th Select Committee may come forward and just explain how things went down, but this would be going just totally focused on her. Where was she? What was she doing? Absolutely, Linda Sandoval. She's afraid the truth will come out. Oh, yeah. And then this is it being carefully studied. They're facing huge judgment and being out in the cold. Because this is the Knight of Cups. This is the Cups people. The people going after her being quite happy. And Republicans being out in the cold. Of course, she's one of those eternal victims. Mm-hmm. It's related to, are we going to find out things in Discovery that weren't common knowledge before? Let's do that one. At 11:30. Are we going to find out things in Discovery that weren't common knowledge before? Come on, you, go up there. Okay. You know how I'll often say someone, if they're going to get in trouble, they're toast? It doesn't even feel like this. I'm getting a mental image of someone opening a garbage chute on one of those high rises where you take your bag of garbage and you just toss it down and it just goes down the chute. I'm getting a mental image of not her, but everything about her. Like sort of her, but not, it's not nothing that's going to kill her, but it just, everything Marjorie Trader Green just going, and then the thing banging shut. Electra Storm asks, live streamed, can we watch this case online? It's possible. We'd have to there are going to be state laws about that kind of thing. Whether it's allowed or not, usually is, but who knows? Will we discover things in Discovery that we didn't know before? Wow. She doesn't want the focus on her. She doesn't want to deal with this, but it's kind of taking things out of the Trump playbook because she thinks she's fine. She doesn't think she did anything wrong. Then again, most villains don't. Hanged Man, death. Oh, slight change of perspective. And a prosecutor. So this isn't just a suit. This is a prosecutor. Ooh, things are going to come out that entertainment only. What do I know? I'm reading on the collective energy. But what the collective energy is saying is she feels like she's untouchable. She's fine. This, however, things coming out that are going to get her into big hot water. Total change of perspective. Can't hide death of her career. How she was a part of the insurrection and there were deaths involved. And then, yeah. Oh, it doesn't look good for her. Doesn't feel good. But she's still mentally, delay, appeal everything. Just keep saying you're not going to do the thing. Trump gets away with it. She's in for a rude awakening. 14:30. It doesn't mean she's going to suddenly become less obnoxious. Maybe we all dream. I still, a whole time Trump was in office, was just this little naive part of me that was like, he'll finally grow a conscience. He'll finally realize, he'll finally get caught and at least say the error of his ways. No, some people don't do that. And there's some little naive part of me that's always disappointed. Tammy Aldrich is saying she feels she's above the law. Yes. So at 15:30, will Marjorie Taylor Greene show up at her hearing? And this is her congressional hearing. Is it today or tomorrow? At her congressional hearing. Anybody? Tomorrow. Thank you, Jen. So will Marjorie Taylor Greene show up at her congressional hearing tomorrow? I'm getting this is an illegitimate hearing. You're blah blah blah. Stephanie Martin says tomorrow. Do a watch party. Is it going to be live? Oh, I'm sorry, Shockwave. I've got my questions for today. Sorry. But I'm here 365 days of the year. So. Okay, will Marjorie Taylor Greene show up at her congressional hearing? Will she tell the truth? If not, will she get away with lying? Oh, gosh. It's supposed to be around 9:30? Okay, I'll keep an eye out for it, but I'm getting her... This is illegitimate. You don't have the right to question me. It's a way for her to get a lot of attention. I mean, maybe she'll not show up, but I don't know. She's really needy. She really needs attention. And this is her way to get her message or garbage message out and do fundraising and the committee's working together. They're not expecting much from her. They're really not. I'm not. They're not. Like, we're doing it, but we're not expecting. They're expecting the same kind of blathering, blow-hard, blankety blank that she normally does. Oh, thank you, Aiden. Alan's saying, even from Australia, I know how vile she is. Hello, Fran. Deseret says she's going to walk out. If she shows up in person, I don't know. Lisa Graham says she spews oobleck. Has a yellow dirt in her soul. Oh, see, Torino saying she'll play the victim. What I'm getting is yelling, the standing up, the yelling, the America, this is not America, your rule over me, da da blah 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 blah. And the committee is just like, yeah, pretty much expected this. Sit down. And the immortal words of our president. Shut up, man. Five of swords, strength. 6 of pentacles, 10 of cups. Ooh, she might perjure herself. insult to injury. She just, anything I give them, they're going to use it against me. Well, duh. Maybe you shouldn't have been part of the insurrection. Just a thought. This is her being obnoxious. Her misused strength. And yeah, she might be able to raise a little bit of money tomorrow, but this feels like I think she might perjure herself. Jen Glenn says, I wouldn't be surprised if she let some info slip out. Yeah, she might either let some information slip out or perjure herself or something. Thank you, Jean. Excuse me. Sorry. Thank you. Aspie Third Eye, I like that. January 6th committee. Yeah. Make a record of that. Refer to the Department of Justice, please. Scribble, scribble. Next. Thank you. I wonder if Linda Sue is saying, I wonder if dropping stuff down the garbage chute was disposing of her January 6th bomber clothes. I haven't picked up on that, but Strat said, I heard Boo Boo say bless you. Aw. Holly and France. Hello, Holly. They already know the answers to much of what they'll ask her, so she's bound to get nailed for perjury. Yep. Moon. That's her. Howling at the moon. Nine of Wands. Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Cups. Fool. Six of... She's full of herself. I'm trying to raise... she'll raise a little money, but she's not going to raise a huge amount. And the committee's definitely going after her. She thinks she's fighting the fight to free America. Bullpucky. Garbage. Bilgewater. It's just... Yeah. Okay. Thing is I'm not getting the clearest energy on whether or not she'll show up. I mean, like, she may not, but I'm just getting this overwhelming energy of she needs this to raise funds. So maybe she'll show up and leave, or maybe she'll try to make a scene. Does anybody know if she's supposed to be there in person, or if she's planning on being there in person? Does anybody know? Because that would be better video for her to show people, for them to give her money. Electra Storm says, won't she be arrested if she doesn't? Like Steve Bannon, Mark Meadows, Scavino, Navarro. At least Bannon has a court hearing in July. I think July 18th. The other three, they've gone into the black hole that is the Department of Justice, and we have heard nothing. Buckus. Fran Abina says she was ordered by a judge. She's under pressure. It's like It's like most of the energy is going forward, but there's this over here. It's like this passageway where maybe she's getting information from Trump or from somebody saying, don't do it, don't do it. Electra Storm says, I thought it was a court of law outside the January 6th thing. My understanding is these are two different things. Aren't they? Now you got me confused. I thought they were... there are her constituents who are trying to stop her from running again, and then there's a January 6th select committee. Maybe I've misunderstood. All right, maybe I've misunderstood then. Hippie Sue, hello, Hippie Sue says correct. Kim Hawkins says January 6th did not call her. Different court. Oh, okay. Sorry. Jen Glenn says not the January 6th committee, only the January 6th related questions. Oh, okay. Then that makes sense. Jen Glenn says, as far as I know, she's supposed to show up in person, not virtually. Okay. All right. In that case, so this is just in Georgia. I was going to say, I didn't think they were calling fellow Congress people very much, but on the defensive. Four of Cups, Queen of Swords, Three of Swords, King of Swords, Eight of Swords. She's been refusing, but she's been ordered to go. It's not going to go so well. She ends up hemmed in. She ends up hemmed in. All right. Okay. Well, thank you, Jolie. Nothing else today. I can see you, Taylor B. All right, this is just crazy. Trump world. Why am I pulling cards this way? I don't know. She's apparently been spending a lot of money. So she's in the center. She's not being able to, she's kind of somewhat tapped out on people sending her money. Who's willing to send her money? They already have. And it's an end to the evidence gathering at various levels. Like, they have information. They don't need that much more. And she wants it to stop, but it's not going to. So Anna says, yes, she's in huge debt. Whew. Thank you, Linda. All right. At 30 minutes in, we had a couple of people asking this question, so the last one about Marjorie Trader Green. Will she return to her job if she's found guilty in playing a part in the insurrection using the 14th Amendment? Will she be ineligible to run again, or is that a whole different fight? If she is found guilty, taking part in the January 6th, the insurrection, will she be able to return to her job, or will she be unable to run again? Lola Bell's here. Hello. Transiting Saturn at Aquarius 2342 is conjunct her natal asteroid Icarus. Oh, Saturn. Icarus flying too close to the sun and the wings that will melt. And Saturn is exactly the kind of thing that would say, let's look at the logic of this. Apply logic. And you fall to the ground, constricting, forming. It's Saturn. There are things I love about Saturn, but boy, not life of the party. Very much the stick in the mud. So, Knight of Cups, Three of Cups, Fool. She's trying to raise money. She's just trying to raise money. That's her focus. The people fighting to make sure she can't run again, they're having some success there. And she's just focused on raising money. I don't know. Yes, exactly. Judy Barth paying her fines in Congress for no mask wearing. A legal decision. She did a lot. 8 of Wands, Star, Sun. Oh, she wasn't subtle about it. She wasn't quiet about it. It's all out there. And remember, there were some people giving tours in the Capitol before January 6th. This could just be a card of things coming to light. But this is often, and it feels like perhaps some links to some, I hate to say it, this is my white supremacy card. I didn't have a white supremacy card until I started reading on these jerks, but I do now. She's in for a world of hurt. There's a lot that's going to come out. It's not going to look good on her. 14th Amendment, last 3 cards. 14th Amendment. Far-right communication. Her communication. 6 of Cups. King of Cups. 3 of Pentacles. Ooh, this is Democrats being successful. This is Republicans stopping in the middle of what they're doing and turning around and being like, what just happened? Wait, what? We have to redo the plans. So I'm getting there. So we'll keep an eye on that. Fran Urbina says she has no committee assignments. True. No money coming in for her. Actually, there was a time when she was a huge fundraiser. But apparently it hasn't been going so well, but she's certainly been spending a lot. So it's not good. Her whole obnoxious shtick has so far worked brilliantly for her. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to stretch my leg a little bit. Okay. All right, moving on at 30. Actually, 35. Let's go to Anna's question because it's directly related. 35 minutes in. Will the 14th Amendment be used against other GOP members in relation to January 6th? All right, 14th Amendment. If you've tried to overthrow our democracy, you can't work in the government. You can't hold office if you've tried to overthrow democracy. Doesn't sound unreasonable to me. Hi. All right, 14th Amendment. Hello, GOP. How you doing? Oh, McCarthy. Why am I getting a strong energy of McCarthy? Ugh. I thought I recognized your foul stench. Now Menzi says, please, like Gosar and Biggs. 14th Amendment be used on other members of the GOP. Our last question today is really, I think, really interesting. I don't know how much I'll get, but I'll try. The question was, can I ask the founding fathers what they think about what's going on now in the government and the future of America? That should be interesting. Boy, they had their faults, but I don't know. I kind of like those guys. They're just some of them. It's like, really? But emperor. No, we're not going to have an authoritarian rule in the United States of America. Not happening. Good luck. Good try. Not happening. Mm-mm. Temperance. 7 of Wands. Page of Wands. Moon. 2 of Wands. Oh boy. Right now, it seems very unlikely. It just does. I mean, how many of these people have been held accountable for anything? It seems unlikely. But this is the far right. This is these people being on the defensive because of messages in their own hands, as it were, in their own handwriting, as if that was a thing anymore. But it's communications, messages, and howling at the moon upset. There's some energy here that says this might be a thing. It's not the chances does not feel like it's zero. And we've certainly seen enough people get away with everything. But sorry, I'm just going to tap into the energy here. 14th Amendment, because, you see, I think they should, of course, but there's 3 cards. The committee, they have the goods. They have all of the evidence laid out. Evidence. Bullying. Standing up. Can you imagine McConnell and McCarthy? Can you imagine McConnell if somebody tried to invoke the 14th Amendment and get rid of members of Congress? Some of them were in the House, but some of them were in the Senate too. Do we know who would actually invoke this? Would it be national? Would it be state? I object. What, to you being held accountable? Yes. Boy. See, this is the thing. This is the kind of thing that could drag on for a year, 2 years, 3 years. Depends on how it goes, who's involved. Pluto's about to go into Aquarius. This is a thing. Matter of fact, I want to say there might be a question about that today. Question on that today. But the thing about Aquarius is that people think, oh, it's all about individual freedom. It's all about my freedoms. Not quite, actually. The opposite sign, Leo, that's the king. That's I do what I want. I am the ruler. If I choose to be a benevolent ruler, I can, but I can choose not to be a benevolent ruler. So it's when you're talking about the power to the individual, you're talking about Aries, you're talking about Leo. You're not talking about Aquarius. Aquarius is the collective. It's about democracy. And democracy, while we talk about it does give power to the people. But it gives you power if you have enough other people in your collective to get power. And so Pluto's going to start digging through that field, kicking up all that dust about what are the weaknesses of our collectives? What is the truth we need to see? What is the rot that is sitting under our ideals that can be raised to the surface so we can deal with them and get rid of them? Kind of the good news is when Pluto is digging through a sign, if they're plowing the field next door to you, you get all kinds of dust in your house covering everything. So there's going to be this huge rise of Aquarian energy just because of dust being kicked around. Futuristic, technological, somewhat rebellious. So, all right, that's that. All right. So at 43 minutes in, Jen Glenn, let's see, 43 minutes in, the January 6th committee is considering rewriting the Insurrection Act to create safeguards against a future Trump-like president deploying the troops to steal the election. Will this happen? My gosh, I hope so. I mean, that's part of what their hearings are going to be about, is what they're laying out is recommendations to make sure none of this happens again. Will the committee, will it actually happen that new laws are put in place, new limits are put in place? Nine of Pentacles. Wheel of Fortune, Strength. 10 of Wands. Sorry. Wheel of Fortune, Empress. 10 of Wands, Strength. Page of Swords. This feels like them what they're coming forward is it feels like it absolutely crushes the insurrection because they have everything laid out and they have all the receipts, and against there's huge strength against the bullying. This is a change. This is a change in America. This is a change in the history of America. big change, major arcana change, where there's strength, and these people are caught red-handed, and the bullies, they can't stand up to this. You kidding? I know. Seems hard to believe right now, but I think so. There's some good stuff coming. I don't know. Seems impossible, but okay. So we shall move on. It is 45 at 45:30. We're going to move over to Ukraine-Russia questions. All right, 45:30. Electrostorm had a question, so let's start there. 45:30. Since the world is finally pushing back on dictators like Putin, will they finally stop giving in to others and pushing back on global dictators in general? Mohammed bin Salman, MBS, I'm looking at you. Best buddies with Jared Lucius Malfoy Kushner. So will dictators finally get the pushback they deserve all over? Pluto and Aquarius, which is what's coming in the next year or two, it could be, and then it's in there for like 15 or 20 years. That would make sense if there was finally a pushback on countries that say they're democracies that aren't sham elections, things like that. Pluto in Aquarius is not going to like sham elections. No, nay. So, will the world finally push back on the horrible dictators? Oh, sorry. Itch. Okay. Queen of Cups. That's democracy. Okay. Six of Cups, Two of Wands, King of Pentacles, Three of Cups, Two of Cups. This is a hello, boo boo. Sorry, I saw movement there. I thought I saw his little ears. Anyway, living under a democracy, but communication of the king. It's at the center, but here I've got happy democracy. Some places coming out from underneath that, partnering with other democracies. There are a whole lot of cards here of democracy. I don't know that it will be a complete pushback because I still have a king in the middle. He's not an emperor, but I still have a king in the middle. So we're not going to overthrow all of them. But there's definitely these cards. This is a rise in democracy around the world, which good if it's real. And if people aren't voting to get rid of their own democracies, gee, I think I'll vote for the far right. That'll do it. They'll take away my chance to vote ever again. That's democracy, right? No. If you vote to destroy your own democracy, that's not democratic. No. Yeah. Oh, I remember the day of the Insurrection. Alan saying, I remember looking at the insurrection from Sydney and thinking, what? I didn't know there had been so many protests and so many people doing stuff, and we weren't getting the full. Since I wasn't watching TV, I wasn't getting the full information, and I just remember laughing hysterically because there was, I guess, misinformation or something that the Trump mob had broken into the Library of Congress. And I just found that hysterical. I started doing my whole my dearest Annabelle jokes, which was actually started by by a comedian. I wish I could remember who it was, but I've carried on the tradition. So we'll get rid of some of them, but not all. All right, 51. This is sad. I'm going to try not to cry. That's simple. Will children be allowed to leave the steel plant at Mariupol? Will reinforcements make it to them in time? There are adults, children. There are adults, children, soldiers. I guess they were all chucked into this steel plant. King of Wands. Russian military people. Six of Cups. Five of Cups. Six of Swords. Seven of Swords. King of Pentacles. Ukrainians are trying to get in there. They're trying to get to these people to help. Other countries who are helping Ukraine are trying to get material, whatever the Ukrainians need. There's a real effort to try to save these people, and it's not going terribly well. I'm concerned the Russians will try to steal. I mean, we know they loot like nobody's business, but I hope they don't like walk off with some kids and go give the kids somebody else. But this feels like theft, and let's see if this is more positive than one would assume from the beginning. They took refuge there, Almenzi says. Teresa Ford says, I need water, food, and medical supplies. Oh, jeez. Miss Cat M says they're in a bomb shelter built by the Russians, 6 stories underground. Oh, really? That's good. But they need help. Miss Cat M says stories. 10 of Wands. 9 of Pentacles. Queen of Cups. Knight of Swords. 7 of Swords. King of Swords. The energy is sort of standstill-ish. At least it's not a complete ransack, destruction. But I'm not. This doesn't feel like rescue. This feels like attack. But then this is kind of both sides fighting on more equal footing. This is the Russians and Ukraine both having their power here. The Ukrainians have a slight advantage, but I'm not getting. Truth is asking, is Ukraine attacking the Russians? They're trying to get to these people. That I'm getting pretty clearly. That's the card for Ukraine. Hermit, 2 of Cups, trying to get medical help to these people. So Ukraine pushing forward to try to get help to these isolated people. The fight continues. So that's better than completely. Dr. Storm, you forgot to timestamp the current question. Thank you. Thank you, After. All right, that's what I'm getting. I'm getting there's some. It's not these poor people are doomed. I'm not. I at least I'm not getting that. All right. At 57 minutes in, Sean Miller had a question. 57. Will there be an exchange of Russian prisoners for those Ukrainians trapped in the Mariupol steel plant? Okay. I need some more information here. Putin tells forces not to storm Ukrainian holdouts in Mariupol. Meanwhile, Ukrainians trapped in Mariupol may only have hours left. Plumes of smoke rise over Mariupol steel plant, but that was 2 days ago. Situation in Azovstal steel plant is desperate, Ukrainians say. Hundreds of people remain trapped. It's ABC News. Ukraine claimed on Thursday that hundreds of people remain trapped in the Azovstal steel plant, where the situation has become desperate. The Ukrainian army continues to fight in the besieged Mariupol, saying that the situation is desperate, with hundreds of civilians, children, and injured fighters trapped in the plant with nearly no food, water, or essential medicine. And Azovstal is being constantly bombarded by Russia, despite large numbers of civilians sheltering there. Ukrainians don't trust Russian troops. Yeah, I wonder why. Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered Russian troops not to attack the Azovstal plant in a televised meeting with his defense minister. Shoigu, the defense minister, said it would take Russian forces 3 to 4 days to take control of the industrial zone of the plant. Right. Ukrainian commander of the regiment at the factory said Ukrainian troops there are ready to surrender if they can guarantee protection by a third party and are allowed to take bodies of the dead with them. So Knight of Pentacles. Temperance, Lovers. Things might actually quiet down a little bit. I don't know that people are going to be able to get a humanitarian corridor, but things might actually quiet down for a little bit. So I've got Temperance, and I've got the card of Silence here. And this is the Lovers card. These are the basically you have to be you have to be cult members to attack Ukraine. And that's, so some Temperance there, quiet, but I don't know. It doesn't necessarily feel like people being able to get out. Anyway, that's all I'm getting. Ick. Bless. Okay. 1 hour, 30 seconds. So Tiffany Lilly is asking, will any nuclear weapons be used in the coming weeks? Well, it's time to check in. We check on this every once in a while. Trying to keep an eye on this, but let's do another check-in right now. Nuclear weapons. Will any nuclear weapons be used? And not like a test, but natural, like used in battle, hatred. I don't think so. I haven't been picking up on this, and even now it doesn't. I mean, Putin is feeling defensive, but all right, nuclear weapons. Ace of Swords, Emperor. Oh, he's got them. 8 of Swords, Chariot, 2 of Cups. Well, if there were nuclear weapons about to be used, it wouldn't end with this partnership. This is, yes, this is medical care, but it's and there's a big Chariot here, but it wouldn't end here. This would not be the ending if there was actually going to be nuclear. Putin's got the weapons, but he's not using them. He thinks he's taking Ukraine just with the forces he has, but I just keep getting Putin's going to lose. He's going to lose this war. So I'm not getting the big scary kaboom. The glow in the dark kaboom. The video game metal barrels of bright green stuff. Yikes. Al Menzi says Russia has 6,257 nuclear warheads of different levels. Whew. $103.30. Mary S. had a question. 3:30. Will Poland be attacked? Will Article 5 be triggered in this conflict? The NATO Article 5. All right, Russia or Belarus, whatever. Are you going to attack Poland and trigger NATO involvement? I've read on this too relatively weeks ago, but these are some of the things we need to keep checking in on, see if any of the energy is changing. So, Poland be attacked. Thank you for being here. Poland. 4 of Wands. Poland to be attacked. Queen of Wands. 9 of Cups. Star. 5 of Cups. Knight of Wands. Ooh. Stuff near the border. NATO's just right there. It's like, come at me, bro. The universal sign of, come at me, bro. Russia is saying, I could do it. I could. And there's the cat in the middle going, no, don't do it. Watching. And the number, I mean, Russia has a lot of satellites, but the West has information gathering. There's disappointment here. Russia's trying to, they're focused in Ukraine, having enough trouble just trying to make that work. They don't have the forces. They're spread too thin. They're spread too thinly. I mean, maybe something accidentally goes over a border somewhere, but oh my gosh. Autumn, you make me laugh. My grandson told me that the other day. Oh, I'm afraid I don't know what. World. Yeah, the world would come down on Putin. Judgment. 3 of Pentacles. 8 of Cups. He knows what would happen. No, I just don't see it. I don't see it. Is Putin crazy enough to attack NATO? Yes. But it's more like he's crazy enough to want to attack NATO. He's not. There's a difference between crazy and stupid. Putin is mainly crazy. Trump is mainly stupid. The difference. Oh, that was it. All right. Okay, 108. And a related question, if we finally hit enough of today's heinous news to involve the West. Will the West, let me just 3 cards. Will the West get more involved? Because every day there are more atrocities, more nightmarish. Yeef. Ace of Wands. 3 of Swords. It's heartbreaking. That would be a decision. Suspension. Change of viewpoint. It's changing our view maybe slowly, but I'm getting, this is a card of suspension. This is a card of not moving forward as Russia continues on their rampage. I'm still not getting the West doing more than they're doing now. I mean, maybe send more aid, maybe send more stuff, but not planes in the air, boots on the ground directly. Yeah. Yeah. Deseret says, please, universe, and hurry. Yeah. Because the Russian economy is not good. Not good. But, all right. 109. Electra Storm had a question here at 109.30. Astrology question. Okay. Is the way the planets have been aligned these past 7 years the reason why this country, the US, is so selfish and can't seem to work together? Is the Pluto return making us like this? Yes. Yes. To a great extent. Why the country is being so selfish, and it's because Pluto's digging through the sign of status, the sign of hierarchy, of aristocracy, of the haves and the have-nots. So, you know, Les Mis. So that plus the fact that as far as lies gaining traction, Neptune, which is the planet of fantasy, of the immaterial, of fiction, art, can also be lies. Neptune rules Pisces, and Neptune's been home. Neptune has been in Pisces. And when planets, I always say, when planets go into their home signs, they tend to just be, you know, like you after coming home from being at an event, you know, at some kind of conference all day for work and all of this, and you come home and you're just like, oh, you know, and planets, they come home and they get out of their nice, you know, look at me in the world, and they put on their ratty sweatpants and their dirty, you know, they've got old dirty socks on they probably should have washed, and they just let it all hang out. And that's what Neptune's been doing. So, and that's one of the reasons Trump has been able to get away with as much as he has, because the lies, it's been so hard to combat the lies because they've had such power. That's Neptune in Pisces. So, and Neptune's moving on. So we should start getting back to a slightly more objective reality. It'll just take a while. All right, at 112. Oh, DeSantis. At 112. Ron DeSantis. Electra Storm's question was, is DeSantis feeling any backlash with his decision on Disney taking away their self-governing status? I just think I need to ask, how is this going to play out? Because it's partway through the Florida legislature. Am I correct on that? It hasn't completely gone through yet. He can't do it on his own. It has to go through the legislature. But my understanding is it's partway through. What's the fallout going to be? Is it going to happen? What's the fallout going to be? Or where Ron DeSantis decides he's going to make Disney mad. Bill passed this morning, says Judith. Okay, so it hasn't been signed yet. What was our new name for this? Death Santis, Linda Sue. Gay Santis. Don't say gay. So Ron DeSantis. 9 of Pentacles, sitting pretty. 5 of Swords. King of Swords. You really want to take you really want to take the Disney lawyers to court. You're adorable. Good luck. That's the government. There's led by a fool. It will cost a fortune for Florida. DeSantis thinks I can do what I want, and he'll continue to think that for a while. This is going to cost Florida so much money just to when this goes to court. Laurel Sorensen says the bill doesn't go into effect for 13 months. It's being described as the mafia bill. Okay, thank you, Laurel. Italian France is asking, he wants to alienate the largest employer in Florida. He wants to go up against Disney lawyers? So, I'm getting a mental image of a goose in a pan being pulled out of an oven where it has been cooked. Oh boy, 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of work. The government, I do what I want. Oh, maybe on the defensive a little bit. But DeSantis, he's on his far right rampage, and he'll continue on. Florida taxpayers, this was your decision. Yep. So, oh boy. All right, and the you know what? I'm going to take these 2 questions that are left from Judith and Jen Glenn. I'm going to read on these tomorrow, if that's okay. I'm getting a bit tired. It's 1:30 here, and I don't think I'm going to be able to channel a message very well, or go through, really give the other question about incoming souls. I don't think I'm really going to be able to give them the energy they deserve. So if you don't mind, I'm going to move those to tomorrow. All right, but I will get to them tomorrow. But that is going to do it for me for today. Thank you so much for being here. And again, I'm here 365 days of the year. It is 1:29 p.m. here in Chicago. Hello from Chicago. At 4 o'clock, I'll be over on the Book Art Media YouTube channel for Creative Sprints. You are always welcome. And other than that, I will be right back here tomorrow. All right. So don't forget, we are in this together. You're not alone. And there are good days ahead, even when it seems like there aren't. There are good days ahead. All right. So take care. See you later.